Hey guys, this is Dr. Sandy with your weekly video information piece. And what I wanted to talk about today, I just came out of my workout, so I'm proud to say that I hope when you're watching this stuff too, like it's information, but I'm trying to get you fired up. I mean, if you're a patient, even if you're not a patient, you're just following us on Facebook, please, 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 in whatever level you're at, you got to exercise, which leads me to the theme that I wanted to mention as well. So, as some of you know, he's put in the newsletter. So last year, my mom had to battle cancer. She had to go through a lot of medical stuff and everything, and she's come through that. We're just at the tail end of it, so she's doing better. But we know we should always be preventative. So next Tuesday, free class I'm having on cancer prevention. It is filled up, but we do have some people who sometimes cancel at the last minute, so you can go on the waiting list. But right now it is full. And if you can't attend, I'm just going to, again, address one issue. So we do know in the research, and more studies are coming out, it's something we're trying to understand, but people who tend to exercise, the chance of cancer is definitely less. And there's different types of cancer, but it's another weapon in your arsenal to fight major diseases. I mean, exercise is just, it's across the board. And please, if you're listening to this, I don't care if you want to go for a walk and your body can handle 10 minutes. If you're high performance, you're gym 6 days a week, God bless you. But please, like the goal of these videos are to inspire, to keep you moving. So you should be exercising. I have another confession. I want to sound like I always do this, but some days you get up ready to go. I did not want to exercise today. I was trying to find excuses. I was reading stuff and everything. I finally picked my butt up and I went and I did that exercise. I feel great. The first half, I was like, I did not like it. And then by the last half, I was like, man, I'm a machine, I'm an animal, so I felt great. So, we have to learn that discipline, which leads me to today's topic, which is policies. And my challenge for you is that we need to start having absolutes or policies in your life. So I can give you an example of another policy I have. So Monday to Thursday, and again, and we talked about the previous video, it's not about perfection, but Monday to Thursday, I really don't touch sweets. I might make an exception if it's a birthday or something like that, but this year I've been awesome that way, like Monday to Thursday, hardly touching sweets. I'll have a little bit on the weekend, but I want you to have policies. Maybe if you're listening to this, you have alcohol once in a while or something, you should, I'm going to give you some food for thought. Maybe have a policy to say, if I have work the next day, I can't drink, And I actually learned that concept from one of my mentors, and he was saying that airline pilots have a policy, or he met a pilot or something like that, where they're not supposed to have alcohol before they fly the plane, or maybe it was that pilot who made that policy. Anyway, I thought it was an amazing idea. It's something I've been doing for years now, where, once in a while I might have wine or something like that. But if I know I have work the next day, I want to be the best for my patients. I want to be at the highest level of performance. I'm not allowed to have alcohol, which would mean, a little bit on the weekend. But literally there's one day because I work 6 days a week. Maybe I can have a little on a Saturday. Sunday going into Monday I can't, so that's a policy, That's a policy I do. So Monday to Thursday, no sugar. You have to have policies. And another thing I would recommend as well when you're making changes, don't make too many changes. Like, if you're like, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to drop that. I have personally found now, if you're hyper-disciplined and you're like, hey, Sandy, I got this, no problem, awesome. But if you change too many things too fast, it actually burns you out. I think the brain can't even, it's just too much change. You feel great for a few days, maybe even for a week or two, and then the body's just like, you're changing me too much, you're changing the software too fast. So start doing some policies. You might have a policy that says that, you like chocolate all the time, but every Thursday I'm not allowed to have chocolate one day of the week, Maybe you have a policy that, at least every Saturday and Sunday I will go for a walk, something like that. So you want to have policies in your life, absolutes, and then what you want to do over time is when you're like, okay, let's do the walking example. That's easy. So let's say you're like twice a week I have to go for a walk. When you get to a point you feel you've mastered it and it's become automatic, and automatic would mean you're doing it whether you want to do it or not. When you miss the walk, you feel like you're off your game, then it's become a habit and you're like, I got to make up for it. When you've mastered 2 days a week, you're like, this is easy, then build it to 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and maybe it'll become 7 days a week. But I met too many people, and man, I've been guilty of this too, like the He-Man attitude where, okay, you know what? I'm going to work out 7 days a week, no matter what. I'm going to change my diet, perfect diet. I'm never going to have sugar. I'm going to be perfect. it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So go slowly, build on it, but have policies. These are absolutes. These are just rules. You know, one I'm working on right now, I'll be honest, I have a bad habit in the past of going to bed late. I love to read and everything, and I realized, you know, that's affecting my energy. I want that next level of performance. I'm always pushing myself. So I'm starting to go to bed earlier, and I'm seeing the benefits, and I'm realizing that, you know what, maybe I can learn a concept, just one or two concepts, and I'm good. I don't have to read an entire chapter. I don't have to make a goal to read the entire book, because one thing that's affected me too, I started looking at my mentors, and I realized these guys, like, they eat good, they do all these great things, they're high performance, and all the mentors I respect, one thing they keep saying, which I was ignoring, they really put a value on the sleep. No matter how high performance they are and what field they're in, they all value sleep. And they treat it preciously. And I was reading a beautiful quote from a coach from Seattle Seahawks. He's one of their sports performance coaches, and he said, sleep is a weapon. And when I read that statement, I was like, wow, sleep is a weapon for performance. We know in the research that it affects reaction time, your speed, your agility. And here's the funny story I want to share with you, how I got into the sleep information and research. I was talking to my son who's passionate about soccer. We were studying the soccer players he really likes, and I was like, wow, look at what they eat, look at what they do, look at how they train. And all these top soccer players are basically saying sleep is precious, they never compromise it, it's a big part of their life. A lot of them on game day will sleep and actually take some extra naps to recharge the body. And it's so funny, I've read tons of articles, and I've said this before as well, you know, it's easy to find university research, I respect that, and a professor says, hey, you should sleep and eat this and stuff, but the people I really, really admire are people who are executing at a high level every day. And who are the best people, for examples, for health? Are athletes. And a lot of the top athletes, man, I was reading stuff like 8, 9, some of them are sleeping 10 hours. I mean, they just really nourish the body with a large amount of sleep. So when I was reading it, and then it was actually saying, one of the last quotes I read is that if you sleep properly, your chance of disease is almost cut by 50%. So all the major diseases, if you're sleeping on a good amount on a regular day, the body can rejuvenate. The chance of health and sickness dramatically drops. So it's something you really want to look into. It's something I'm working on. I'm not going to say it's a policy yet, but I'm working on it. So build policies. You got to have the best life possible. Every day you should get up. And, you know, guys, another thing I want to remind you, you know, end of June, it's almost half the year's over. I mean, 2016, what the heck is going on? So this is a great time that let's not wait till January. Every day we're trying to improve. You should be asking yourself, how are those goals you set in January? Are you better than 6 months ago? Are you better than 30, 40, 50 days ago? And it's not a race. I'm just asking for 1%, 5%. You've improved 100%. God bless you, man. Like, you're ripping it up. My challenge to you is, if you've blown past your goals, reset and now make some higher goals, okay? And if you're like, well, I set some goals and I failed, okay, suck it up, man. I mean, we all screw up. We're all making mistakes. Then you got to say, okay, what am I going to do different? And be strategic, develop systems, develop policies. You'll have the best life possible. So God bless you, and I'll see you next week, guys.